Lawmakers are looking over several different bills that would change the way the state handles failing school districts. Current law, passed 4 years ago, says the state will take over any district that receives 3 consecutive failing grades on the state report card. The state has already taken over 3 districts. Columbus faces a takeover if it gets a failing grade after the next school year. Several other districts face the same situation. Now, some lawmakers question the takeovers. Governor DeWine says he is open to reviewing the law and the takeover process. Whitney Smith, if a school is failing and has failed 3 times, should the state take it over?
According to how we're set up now, absolutely. However, I think there's a bigger issue with schools in Ohio, and we've kind of seen the past 20 years since our school funding model, which is based partially on property taxes, was unconstitutional by the Supreme Court here in Ohio, that kind of our legislature has been kind of kicking the can down the road of the education problem. So we had lottery, we've got charter schools, now we're doing state takeovers. They're all kind of Band-Aids on this bigger problem. And I think what really needs to happen is to do an overhaul of it. And it would be starting with school funding and to stop tying property taxes and your property values with the school funding. Not only was it declared unconstitutional, it also, hurts those school districts that are in need the most. So I think there's not just one quick Band-Aid for this, and I think it's time to stop kicking the can down the road.
Joe, when the Youngstown school, they were the first district to get taken over. There was some outrage up there, but I think statewide it was like, okay, it's just part of the deal. Now that there are more school districts facing this takeover, is that where the political will to change this is coming from? That reps, I'm in Columbus, I don't want my school district taken over. I'm in Dayton, I don't want my school taken over. Is that what's going on at the State House?
Sure, that's definitely going on. There's something else, though, you've got to look at, and that is if these school districts that have been taken over, like Youngstown, are they really improving with the takeover, the way that it's being implemented? And really, it's showing that they're not. And if anything, what it does is it takes away the local control. And that's a problem because, if people who live in that community or invested in that community are not involved in the schools and that local control pulls back, then you've got an issue of the school district not being able to perform as well as it would.
But Derek, the local control, you could argue, got that school in the fix that it's in, the district that it's fixed it's in, the politics in the school board, ineffective superintendents hired by the school board. So if the school's failing, where's the stick to make them improve?
Well, first off, the school, the state should not be in the school bureaucracy business. Anytime that the school, that the state has to be involved in local matters, it's not going to be good. And to Whitney's point, anytime you have school districts that their funding is relied upon on the property taxes, you're always going to have an imbalance. You're always going to have an imbalance in those schools. So we have to come up with a different funding mechanism. And then we also need to address how teachers are paid. If you're paying teachers and you're not putting priority on teachers, then you're not going to get the best and the brightest, and they're going to go into other professions.
And if you have kids who come to school and they aren't fed and they don't have a home and they have mental, emotional problems that aren't being met, they might have physical problems that aren't being met. I could go on for 100 different ways. But if you have those kind of students coming to school, are you really going to be able to improve it by putting someone from the state in charge of the district?
Well, it's more than just the takeover. It's the third grade reading guarantee, which they found, well, surprise, surprise, some third graders weren't ready by the third grade to move on. And then the high school graduations were tough, and they were going to get high school kids ready. Well, they cut back on those standards when high school kids weren't ready. It just shows you that there's no quick fixes to this. This is another example of that.
Yeah, no quick fixes, and I think obviously school funding would be the first step to fix it, and also looking at states which have really successful and high graduation rates. Massachusetts and other places, how do they do it? And why reinvent the wheel here? Why are we putting Band-Aids on something? Other places have figured this out. Other states have education systems that work really well, and why do we not take some notes from them?
Right. Last point on that, we got to quit privatizing our public school system. There are plenty of private schools out there. but public schools are meant for the community to benefit from, and we just got to get away from privatizing our public schools.
Is there any place where a takeover is prudent? If the school district repeatedly fails, even taking into consideration all the outside forces, if there is malfeasance in the school department, school district, where they're bankrupt or things like that, putting bankruptcy, they put a controller in charge, they put a magistrate in charge for 2 or 3 years, get your house in order, give it back to local control. Does that make sense?
Yes, in some instances, yes, absolutely. But there should be some checks. There should be some checks and balances on that too. You know, if you have someone that's that's taking advantage of the school district, absolutely, there should be some mechanisms in place to get that person out. But at the same time, you got to make sure that these schools are performing the best across the board and not in just certain districts.
Mm-hmm.